G'day and welcome. Today I'll be going through the many tips and somewhat unknown tricks that can help optimize, increase, and help you improve your Magic Find capabilities. Magic Find is an affix on items that allows for a greater chance for unique, rare, set, and magic items to drop. By increasing your Magic Find, you'll effectively be more likely to have better items drop than as opposed to none. Many players prefer the stat anonymously with the intent they'll find better items when Magic Finding around the world of Diablo 2. However, useful attributes of Magic Find, tips on how to Magic Find, where to Magic Find, and who to Magic Find from are often forgotten or unknown by some Diablo 2 users. So without further ado, here are the top 5 most useful things to know about Magic Find in Diablo 2. The rate in which you find runes throughout the world of Diablo 2 is not affected by the magical affix known as Magic Find. The percentage of Magic Find will not give you a greater chance to find more runes or make harder to find runes like Jar or Zod have a greater chance of dropping. Magic Find only works on items dropped from either monsters, barrels, chests, or any other method of obtaining randomly dropped items within Diablo 2. There is only one way to increase the rate in which you find runes on a repeatable basis that are not one-off events, such as the Hellforge and Rescue of Mount Eric quests. The only repeatable way to find runes is by killing certain unique monsters with a substantially high rate of dropping runes or by searching in areas known as TC85 areas. The monster who has the highest chance of dropping runes in Diablo 2 is the Countess. In the game, she can be found in Act 1 on the 5th level of the Forgotten Tower in the Black Marsh. Although her highest rune that can be dropped from her loot table is a low rune on Hell difficulty, it will still take 32 lows or L's to make one Zod rune from Heroic rune crafting. Although Magic Find does not affect the rate in which you find runes, other methods to help rune hunting, such as killing the Countess, is useful to greatly increase the rate in which you'll find these runes. Mercenaries and minions can help add additional Magic Find, effectively increasing your rate in which you find gear. Mercenaries and minions MF is calculated off your own character's MF plus additional Magic Find your mercenaries equipment may have. The Magic Find on a monster will be based by the person or AI who deals the killing blow. Since mercenaries will always have more or the exact same Magic Find percentage as you, it is best to let your mercenary give the final blow on a unique monster or boss in comparison to a minion or yourself. Basically, if you have 300 MF and your mercenary has 100, and your mercenary deals the finishing blow, the MF will be 400 as opposed to your character killing the monster, which would only be 300. It will also be helpful to create a mercenary that is oriented around Magic Find if your mercenary can handle it. A mercenary can potentially gain up to 558 MF with proper gear orientated around that affix. Mercenaries are used not only for helping to kill mobs and give bonuses from their gear, but can also be used to add extra MF when fighting around the world of Diablo 2. The number of players in-game affects item find by decreasing the chance that a phenomenon known as no drop will occur when finding items within Diablo 2. The higher number of players in-game will result in a higher chance for it to be impossible for the monster to drop no items. In simple terms, items will drop if you have more players in-game. However, the number of players in-game does not affect the quality of items dropped, and Magic Find doesn't affect the number of items dropped either. With more items being dropped, the likelihood of useful items being dropped increases exponentially, and is the main reason this is useful for Magic Finding. The table currently being shown depicts that when she is killed, the N1 Act 1 boss Endariel will have a 0% chance to drop 0 items in-game, with a minimum of 4 people in-game when she is killed. In a game with only one person, her chance to not drop anything at all is 19 out of 67 chance. The only monster in-game that opposes a contradiction to this method is a unique, rare monster, the Countess, which has a likelihood to drop less runes when more people are in the game. Having more people in game is useful for having more items drop, increasing the chance of better, more useful items dropping as well. When Magic Finding with Magic Find higher than 10% on either patch V 1.07 or onwards, you would have encountered a phenomenon introduced by Blizzard known as Magic Find Diminishing Returns. Blizzard introduced diminishing returns as a balancing effect to stop the extreme possibilities from items that increase Magic Find significantly. Diminishing returns refers to a point at which the level of profit or benefit gained is less than the amount of money or energy invested, shown in this graph with X being the player's total magic find and Y being the effective magic find. As you may notice, this graph's blue line, which represents rare items, increases gradually, with the line which corresponds to the equation X equals Y. This is the only line in the graph that doesn't increase, slow down, and then move into saturation. The blue line is consistent and linear. The yellow line, which represents rare items, the green line, which represents set items, and the gold line, which represents unique items, all increase rapidly, slow down, and then move into saturation. The magic find table now shown on screen will give you a great understanding of the deceleration at which the effectiveness of magic find starts to drop off. The diminishing returns of magic find can help you decide whether to choose magic find orientated gear or gear with sufficient magic find with greater survivability to optimize magic find runs. Treasure class acts like an item level that is invisible on items but helps calculate the item's possibilities of being dropped from monsters or chest-like objects. The treasure class schemes makes it impossible for some items to drop in certain areas or difficulties because of mob level. For example, Talrash's Guardianship can only be dropped from Act 5 and other level 85 monster zones in Hell. Bale is the most likely to drop this item because of its ancient class level of 84. The chance of him dropping a treasure class level armor of 84 is at a 0.008% probability. The chance for Talrash's Guardianship to drop according to dropcalc.silospen.com from Bale is at a 1 to 2212 ratio with no magic find. Magic find will increase the probability of certain items dropping. By changing the magic find percentage from 0 to 400, Talrash's Guardianship's chances of dropping from Bale became 1 to 769 ratio, giving a 288% better chance to drop. Some monsters have a better chance to drop some items than others, which helps identify better magic find spots for specific items. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learnt something from the video or just enjoyed the video. Either way, if you made it this far without skipping, thanks again. Hoping that'll at least help one person out there to implement these tips into their magic find routine to help find better items than before because of this video. Honestly, I'd be over the moon. If you enjoyed, learnt something, or just generally want to see more Diablo 2 content, be sure to subscribe. Any feedback is welcome, and if you want to go the extra mile, be sure to give it a like. Thanks again, and have a good one.